Shameen. Hi, good to see you. Welcome. Welcome to Allbirds.
Thank you. You are a graduate of the CEIBS Global Executive MBA program. And in fact, when you started, you were working with a multinational, Adidas. Now you're with Allbirds, an entrepreneurial Silicon Valley company in China. To me, that represents the importance of adaptation. For you personally, from a multinational to a startup situation, but also for a Western company adapting to China. What are some of your learnings and reflections that others might be able to gain insight from?
I joined Allbirds because I saw it as an entrepreneurial speedboat, right? I want this. I want to ride with the boat, and maybe it's gonna be like strong kind of wind and waves, etc. But I like that, so it's very personal. My point is, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to be at your best. Actually, being a professional manager is also quite good, I would say. You have to be like surviving and thriving in this kind of entrepreneurial environment versus a multinational companies, which represents system, structure, and resource. While here, it's the totally opposite, right? It's the speed, it's the agility, it's the decision making, not at the top level, but at maybe a manager level. So it's quite a different culture. You have to, before you kind of dive into that, you have to really reflect, is it a culture fit for yourself? You can be a very excellent professional manager and really contribute like your value, your knowledge to the corporation. But if you want to adapt and dive into this, like you have to be constantly asking yourself, like, is it something like, is the risk associated with it you can bear? Is the kind of suffering with lack of resources and educating global with all the common senses something you are patient with? Are you willing to fail quickly? So those are the questions you have to ask. And I think you cannot get a right answer. Sometimes you just have to get your hands dirty, but be really conscious that I think it's a balance of mindset and skill set. Because when I joined Allbirds, I inherited a team with really fantastic kind of mindset. They are sustainable kind of die-hard fans. They love the brand, they talk about the brand, but they don't have the right skill set to help the brand to localize and thrive here, right? So sometimes once you have a lot of people from multinationals, they have the right knowledge and skill set and experience like behind them, but how can they adapt to this environment? And because sometimes they seeing things for granted, like the structure, the system, the resource. I think first you have to understand what kind of person yourself is. That's quite important. When I talk about like fail quickly, it's also another quite different kind of mindset, right? If I'm now an MD, but I also have like a marketing manager or kind of a retail operation manager, my ask for them is also they have to make decisions where they don't necessarily need to be in the multinational companies. And I give them some license and autonomy, but of course I will protect if anything bad happens, and I have to take that accountability. But they have to stretch and really push their boundaries, capture this opportunity to be at their best. So I think this is quite different experience. Even in Adidas, I was in a kind of more internal transformation. I was doing digital transformation. There are a lot of like barrier and baggage there. But I think the final fulfilling piece, you feel good about being able to make an impact. If you have the mindset of making an impact and having that agility to navigate scarcity of resource, I think this could be good for you. Yeah.
Absolutely fascinating, Brandy. What I'm hearing is the importance of the entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah.
And when we talk about this, often we talk about things like the importance of being proactive, of being innovative, and willing to take risk, accept risk. Don't take blind risk, manage it. And I think a lot of what you're talking about is that. But the other very interesting thing you said is you need to combine mindset with skill set.
Yes.
I think that's a terrific insight.
Because previously, although you are a VP or very senior role, it's still quite a long distance from really the center of decision making. But now we are very decentralized. Even our founder, we can talk very honestly about what is wrong, what is could be possibly better, and can I try this? So I think this is kind of like a democracy and the decentralization, which I really like. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Brandy, you've had a fascinating career, which clearly got transformed during your CEIBS Gemba journey.
I can just had this privilege of just reapplying what I learned at the class into what I'm operating on daily basis. Like currently I'm applying the strategic negotiation with the external kind of partnership. And when I joined, it's about organizational behavior. So I'm just like picking some small examples to explain like how I feel very grateful to have the chance to be in CEIBS and learning from kind of Professor Shameen and all other great faculties and my classmates. Yeah, appreciate that.
That's just great to hear. Thank you so much again, Brandy.
Thank you.
All
Thank
the
you.
very best.